do the discussion accordingly. So what you do, just tell
Okay.
briefly about yourself, for your background and understanding about what you're working and stuff, so that we can take it forward.
Uh-huh. Yes, yes, yeah. So, yes, so I am basically working into the coding of microcontrollers and DSP related things.
Hmm.
Like mainly STM32 and analog devices,
Hmm.
and say TMS320, those kind of microcontrollers and DSP. I do the C coding for that, and to develop the product development for the same. So, and I use some Python coding also for some automating test automation and related things.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's more of a embedded domain.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. So how many years you are working on this field and
2 years.
okay. So what about your overall experience with the same 2 years?
Yes, yeah, 2 years.
Okay, okay, go ahead. Now, what is your
Yeah.
concern and
And now,
what is your
yes, yes. So
expectation? Yeah.
yeah, like I want to know about I'm working into continuous integration of the, like, say we write the code, we do some test automation, and we get the artifacts out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So for the binaries would be generated, and that will be loaded to, say, the hardware of microcontroller and DSP, and we do some automated testing in hardware, automatic hardware loop. So my question is, so that is mostly related to CI, continuous integration. Like I want to make use of DevOps fully for our process. So I would like to take your advice on that. How can I
Okay.
like maybe including CI/CD, or if I want to like do completely as a DevOps career, taking it forward. So I don't know like what how is the potential for me with this background.
Okay. So you want to use the DevOps practice in your applications, or you want to learn separately for your
No,
career growth?
both for my application and
Okay.
like, yeah, I
Understand.
want to grow my career in the same field. Like I don't want to shift completely to DevOps with some a major shift. I want to be in embedded, but embedded plus DevOps mix kind of thing.
Okay. So your application which is running in the server, any of the server, you can apply for the DevOps principles. It is not an issue. Okay.
uh, okay, yeah,
So
but actually ours is not in server. We do it in hardware.
uh-huh.
So yeah, that's why, like in embedded systems generally, at least in my products, I can say in general, at least in my product what I'm
Mhm,
working on,
mhm,
we do the testing everything locally in the local hardware,
mhm,
not in the cloud.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay. So
Yeah.
local
So,
hardware in the sense how you will do the testing. So you will build a means, artifact and where you will deploy those artifact, which system
into
you.
the board, like there will be a test board with us, control board.
Uh-huh.
So say, and we need to load the binaries into the control board,
Okay.
and in that board we need to do some testing.
Okay. So when you are loading this repos means when you're loading this binaries, okay, artifact. So
Mhm.
this somewhere has to be it has to be deployed, right? This by means directly when you are loading in the sense how you are means want to understand. Are you storing these
Uh,
binaries into any of the server with means kind of with your hardware itself, or you just on the fly you are loading and testing and just coming out from that?
Yeah, so say let's take an example. Say if I do it in Azure pipeline, and
Uh-huh.
in pipeline I do say all the testing, and I generate binaries in the pipeline itself.
Mhm.
Then say the binaries would be generated. That would be moved to the computer, because everything is self-hosted. It's not. I don't do these activities in Azure hosted pipeline. I do
Mhm.
it in self-hosted pipeline,
Mhm.
and say I have the binaries in my computer, so there will be the board which is connected to the same computer, which acts as a build server.
Okay.
So then I transfer through the USB communication to the board, and do the testing over there.
Okay.
So even
So
I'm not sure whether is it anyway related to DevOps, or is there any potential
understand,
future
understand.
improvement using DevOps? Yeah.
Okay, understand. So what you saying that? Okay, got it. So you are using, for example, you are using Azure DevOps. Take an example.
Yes.
Fro- From that, you have the Azure Repo server. So you are referring that binaries, whatever you are generating from there, you are connecting with the server and whatever the testing you want to do. So you are performing it, and you can just to verify, test
Mhm.
everything is working fine. If it is fine, then you will be just to saying that okay, it's working. So whatever the changes which you have done, that is how you are correct. You are saying correct.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So now, okay. You this is for the continuous integration. You are testing it. Okay, so once it is done, okay, everything fine. Then your testing is over. That's it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
you want to take these binaries or artifact, want to deploy any of the data center or any of your server for the continuous deployment. I'm asking. Are you doing it?
Uh, no, I don't think so. No, we are not doing it right now,
Uh,
and I don't think that would be required also for this particular application.
That's what I want to understand more about from your application end. So, is it is not a customer facing application, right?
No, it's a product development. Say like assume like we can take an example of a say say just a coffee vending machine.
Mm,
So it's a whatever the code I write is for the coffee vending machine, and
mm,
it will be the code I will be writing,
mm,
and it will be the binaries would be generated. Then I will be doing some testing in
mm.
the actual hardware. The microcontroller will be kept
Right, right, right.
in the machine, and I will be doing that.
Okay, okay, okay. So that is what. So it is not
Yes.
like a web-based application. Like okay, like
No,
so people has to log into that web application. Then they need to do like kind of example. For example, Flipkart, Amazon, like that. It is not like the kind of things, right?
no, no, it's not like that.
Yes. So you are not getting any user data and you are not storing it in your database or your server or your from your backend server, right? Nothing.
No, yeah,
Okay.
yes, you're right.
So I think then in this case you will be using only for this one part, continuous integration, and you are verifying whether it is working or not. If it is working, so that product maybe you will be giving to that user, or maybe so are you deploying
Mhm.
say, any of the client location to use that product, or how this would be?
No, only the hardware would be shared,
Yes,
like
yes.
not through the cloud.
Okay, understand. I think for this case, you won't. It is not required for the continuous deployment and continuous delivery, right? For this case.
No, yeah, I don't think so. No,
Yeah.
that's
See,
my understanding.
yeah,
Yeah, I just
because
want to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me come to this point now. When you go for continuous deployment and continuous delivery, so continuous deployment in the sense like, so you have one applications which is going to use by customer. Okay,
Hmm.
that has to be deployed in your any one of your data center or any one of your server, okay, or any of
Hmm.
your cluster environment, okay.
Okay. Okay.
So when you are going to take this continuous deployment, okay, so for this case you have different types of testing environment like QA, SIT, UAT, pre-production. Okay, so these
Okay.
are the environment. So this whenever your okay artifact ready, so you need to push
Hmm.
this artifact into this environment. Okay, so that respective testers or UAT users or regression user log into their system and they will do the
Hmm.
verification whether all the test cases is working properly or not. This is for
Okay.
continuous
Okay.
deployment. Okay. So
Uh-huh.
once everything is done, all the things is done,
Mhm.
only now is pending for production. Okay. So that will come
Okay.
into picture for continuous delivery. Okay, so once everything, all the phases got processed like SAT, UAT, pre-production, everything, all sign up. Once all the functionality got verified, signed up properly, uh, everybody signed up. Okay, all the things done. Then finally, this whatever the build which is verified, that
Mhm.
that build will get moved into production. Okay, will get
Mhm.
delivered into production. So once delivered into production, once deployed into production, so at the next moment customer can able to access this application, and they can see the whatever the features which is added as part of this build, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Yes. Yes. Understand.
this is the process. Okay,
Okay.
for your case it is not moving continuous deployment, continuous delivery, since your application
Okay.
is means integrate, means
Local hardware.
only, yes,
Yes.
till continuous integration. Okay,
Right.
so
Yes.
till that you
Yes.
are verifying and you are giving the product, whatever you are giving, like hardware product or whatever the case. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
it will go and maybe fix into somewhere any of the end product, like so any applications, or maybe for the system, or maybe computer, whatever it may be, or maybe embedded system, right?
Mhm. Okay.
So
Okay.
this is the process actually. Now I hope you are understanding. Maybe you got some idea about continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous delivery.
Yes, like
Yeah,
continuous integration, I understood. Continuous, yeah,
deployment.
deployment is clear. Yeah, but yeah, continuous delivery means is it the same?
Yes.
Like
Con-
we
con-
generate artifacts and we do
no,
the
no, no, no.
testing.
Continuous
The,
delivery in the
uh,
sense. See, uh, what you will do, whatever the build which you have already verified, which is currently working in the testing environment, once every test cases, whatever uh, the user raised concern, all the things has been finalized, the same build
okay,
will deliver into the production. Means production in the
okay,
sense we will deploy those same build into that production environment.
okay.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
that is called
Yes,
continuous
right.
delivery. Why we are calling this continuous delivery? So we will use that, okay, as a cycle. That is why it is
Mhm.
called as continuous. Okay, then the
Mhm.
once it is done, maybe next day or maybe next week, we use the same uh, continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous delivery. This will happen. It's a cycle. That is why we called as a continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous delivery. Okay.
Mhm. Okay,
So this is the case which is typically happened at uh, the software means application life cycle for with
uh-huh.
respect to DevOps practice.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so I think now you understand. I can means you can able to relate with your application as well as for the application which is typically running in production.
Yes, yes. So, like, I think
Yes.
what I
Mm,
understand from this discussion is like, since in my application, since I don't have any cloud delivery or
mm.
cloud-based,
not,
yeah, this
not only
deployment,
not only
maybe
not only
I need.
cloud, not only cloud, it may be on premises, or it may be
Uh-huh.
server. Okay, or it may be your
Okay,
own data center.
okay, okay. Yes,
Whatever
yes.
the case. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, since I don't have those things anyway in my application,
Yeah.
then CD may not be applicable for me.
Correct.
Only, yeah, CI can do all the unit test, integration test, everything. And
Yes.
up to artifact generation, let's do in DevOps.
Yes.
Then let's stop using that. And after that, we will do it manually in the hardware thing, right?
Right.
That
Right. Right.
is
So once you have
okay.
tested, once you have done
Makes
everything,
sense.
as part of this Azure DevOps, as you said, you are using Azure DevOps pipeline. So you use
Yes.
the pipeline till continuous integration and test that application, your binaries or your repos or your artifact from that server by calling that from that server, or maybe that server, maybe you can use JFrog artifact, or maybe any one of the means the open source version which you are calling from that. You store that repo, and from there you can call it for your verification, or means Nexus or whatever may be, based on your applications, based
Okay.
company which you are using, right?
Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is how
Okay.
it is. How that is how it is happening. I hope for your
Yeah.
application, maybe you can comparatively you can understand now what is how we can use for
Mhm.
this wherever how we can applicable for our application as well as for the real time applications. Okay. So this is how it is
Uh-huh.
happening. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think that is now it's very much clear. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Nice.
was I was always confused like whether there could be anything on the CD side that we are missing, or
Okay, I understand.
are we making
Now,
full use
yeah,
of DevOps? Those things. Yeah.
for example, tomorrow maybe you are
Mhm.
some of the applications maybe you are handling for these customer facing or web-based applications. Okay, then
Uh-huh.
maybe you
Uh-huh.
can use for this continuous deployment, continuous delivery, and continuous integration principle by using
Uh-huh.
uh, any gen, any pipeline tool. Then you can integrate everything. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think yeah, that's good. That's pretty clear for me. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So what else? I think maybe okay. So when
Yeah.
you come into your this is for your current project. When you come into maybe for your learnings or maybe for
Mhm.
your for future project or upcoming maybe you want to
Yes.
learn also. Then whatever
Uh-huh.
we
Yes.
discussed, we have this DevOps, the path will be there. Maybe you can go through each and every cycles like so the planning, code, design, test, deploy, monitor. Okay, I think
Mm.
you pretty much aware this. You would have seen like okay this infinite symbol. So what are the phases which is
Yes.
available as part of DevOps? Each spaces there are lot of tools and technologies which are already there in the market, and might be
Uh-huh.
in case you want to enhance your skill or you want to learn or continue whatever you are
Uh-huh.
doing, you want to continue till end or from
Mhm.
the the phases of full pipeline cycle, then you can extend
Mhm.
your study for this. Maybe you can go ahead for continuous deployment as well as for the continuous delivery. So maybe
Okay.
you
Okay.
can implement some of the project, or maybe you some take some use cases, and
Uh-huh.
you said you have already some knowledge on Python and other stuffs, maybe some Linux skills.
Right.
Use
Yes.
those skill and build some project like medium to so take some small medium projects, or maybe some use case, build it, and okay maybe you can um, deploy into any one of the VM, like use any cloud infrastructure or cloud platform. You try to
Mhm.
deploy your applications, and maybe you can implement the pipeline and see how it is
Mhm.
working.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
how
Perfect. Yeah.
you can upskill yourself in order to use that the pending maybe that the other cycles also like that.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That would be definitely yes in my bucket list. Yeah. That's what next I should do. So, like, do you recommend any YouTube channels or any resources to
Yep.
start with DevOps
Yep.
related
So
things?
let me tell you for the tools and technologies right now maybe
Uh-huh.
of the overall current
Yeah.
industry which you are using so that you can just understand that, and then
Mhm.
let me tell you about the sites or maybe for the learnings where to refer and all those things. Okay. So
Okay. Yeah.
so
Please.
when I go for
Yes.
that. In order to learn for the DevOps practices or the tools and technologies when you are going for any DevOps role, uh,
Mhm.
when you talk about DevOps, mostly that you need a programming language knowledge as well as for the scripting language knowledge. Okay,
Mhm.
as a must. Why I'm saying that? So in a DevOps culture, okay, everything is has to be an automated. Okay, so
Mhm. Okay.
in order to automate something, you need some programming language, or you need programming language as well as for the some scripting language. It's based on that. So based on the situation, you use those technologies and you can automate those things. Okay.
Hmm.
So this is the
Okay.
things. And when we talk about one by one, okay, so we'll go for, just I told you, the programming
Yeah.
language. You take about any one of the programming language, might be Java or might be Node.js or Go or Python, whatever it may be. It's based on
Yeah,
your
like
class.
what do you think? Like for me, like I use only C and Python in my everyday
That
work,
is that
and
that is pretty much good. Okay, no problem.
okay,
You
okay,
right now Python is leading in the programming
uh,
languages. Okay, so
okay,
you better to focus on Python. Uh,
okay,
I think it would be very good for your career. Okay, focus on Python
uh-huh.
more.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Yeah,
Okay,
thanks. Yeah. Then in the
so
scripting language, right?
yes, Python. Yeah, Python you can learn from every day. So means learn every day for Python and solve, do some practice and do some use cases to get hands-on
Mm.
exercise. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So once
Yeah.
you have done for the programming language, next thing I would suggest for, okay, learn operating system. Operating system, use Linux. Okay.
Linux.
When you're learning Linux, just to go through, just to understand the Linux commands. Okay. So what are the
Mm-hmm.
commands which you will be using as part of this? Use command line program, means command line interface. Try to execute some basic commands. Then parallelly you start learn shell scripting. Okay.
Shell scripting.
Yes.
Okay.
So just to think. First thing is programming. Next operating system. Okay. Next thing
Mm-hmm.
would be like uh, version control system. Okay. So just to
Okay.
focus on Git. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think yeah, this I'm pretty okay as of now. Like I every day my work I use Git, so maybe
Yes.
basics is okay with Git,
Yeah.
I
Then
guess. Yeah.
no, now don't spend much
Yeah.
things like, okay. So basic command like, so how do you push, pull, commit,
Yeah.
and what are the branching strategies? Something like that. The
Uh-huh. Okay.
same command only we are using a daily basis, right? So that is enough.
Hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
once you learn Git, and
Yeah.
then next thing would be okay. So go for um, uh, any one of the cloud providers. I told you now most of the companies project already migrate, means most of the companies already migrated into cloud. Okay,
Hmm.
some companies still migrating into cloud. Okay, so
Okay.
better you should learn cloud. Okay, so take
Okay.
any one of the vendor like AWS, Google Cloud, or Azure. Okay,
Hmm.
so I am not sure. Maybe did you aware any of the cloud? Have you learned about anything?
Like
You have any idea?
no, like my background is totally different, and like I'm from electrical background actually. Then
Understand?
I work on this Azure DevOps and Azure DevOps pipeline artifacts.
Understand?
Basically,
Got it.
like
Got it.
yeah, that wiki, those things.
No
I
problem.
know.
No
Like I
problem.
don't know what do you mean by cloud. To learn cloud means I'm
Understand.
not sure what do you
Let
mean by
let
that.
me
Yeah,
tell you. So what you
yeah.
do? So whatever, maybe you can. I have a means. I understand you are in different the platform.
Mm,
Might be, maybe
mm,
you can still, you are using your application is, maybe you are migrating some of the application into so maybe in future, or maybe your company itself, they'll deploy some of the application into maybe
mm.
any one of the server. So
Cloud.
cloud,
Okay.
you just start with AWS. Since you have not started anything, you start with AWS. Learn AWS.
Okay, but so can I do with Azure because I'm already comfortable with
Okay,
Azure? Is
okay,
that okay?
got it. So you always go with
Yeah,
Azure. It is not a like
Azure.
you need to
Okay.
go with like only for AWS or Google. Since why this
Mm,
is why I'm saying like, okay, so if you are comfortable with the Azure, you try to start with the Azure, to start learning it, because concept is same for each and every cloud platform. Just for the naming, the services name alone different, but the
Mhm.
core concept would be same. Once you learn Azure, you
Yes.
can easily learn for AWS, Google Cloud, Oracle, Alibaba, or whatever it may be, the provider, vendors.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So once you learn these things, might be okay. So I don't want to go further. Maybe you start learning. Then maybe I will tell you the things. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
you just note it down. Maybe
Yeah.
it will be useful when you go for maybe once you learn one by one, you can start with that. Okay. Then next would be for the infrastructure provisioning tool like IAC. Might be your Terraform, right? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I heard of it. Yeah, but never
Okay,
used it.
okay. So this might be. Please note it down. Just to maybe you can Google it or maybe for surf it later. Maybe see what it is. All those things. Okay. This is the
Okay.
infrastructure provisioning tool. Since we are instead of creating all the infrastructure manually by using this code, writing some declarative code, and we can able to create a infrastructure in the cloud platform or from the
Uh-huh.
on premises also. Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So cloud next would be like a configuration management tool, which is Ansible. Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
The next thing would be once you have done this, then we need to know any one of the pipeline means CI/CD tool. I think
Mhm.
right now for both on-premises as well as for the cloud, Azure DevOps server, maybe Azure DevOps is say powerful, and most of the companies are started using that. Before
Mhm.
that, Jenkins, GitHub Actions, GitLab, or uh, any one of the CI/CD tool is there
Mhm.
market. But you already familiar with the Azure DevOps, just focus on that.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
you,
Uh-huh.
you focus on
Okay.
that.
CACD
Yeah,
as well.
Azure DevOps. So once you have done this for the CI/CD, then maybe you can. Next thing would be like one of the important things, containerization. So now all the application will be means as a microservices architecture. We are writing the applications, okay, using the
Mhm.
microservice area, and we are deploying those application into the containerization platform. Okay, so when you
Mhm.
talk about
Oh,
containerization, there are a lot of tools in the market, but the famous is Docker Kubernetes. Okay,
uh-huh. Docker. Okay.
Docker Kubernetes.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So two, right? Docker and
Kubernetes,
Kubernetes.
right. You just note it down.
Okay.
And the next thing would be like maybe for okay, so monitor all those application performance, all those things. Maybe you require some monitoring tool also. Maybe you can
Mhm.
use any one of the tools like uh, means Kibana or Grafana, Datadog, and New Relic, App Dynamics. There are a lot of tools in the market. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so
Okay.
so those things you can able to integrate those things any one of the tool your application, and you can monitor the performance of your application. Okay, so this is
Mhm.
the tools and technologies mostly currently the companies are using, uh, and you can focus one by one. Once you maybe it is
Mhm.
maybe you can't expect means uh, it will take some time, but maybe start doing it and start learning it.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Maybe I will target for the first four initially,
Mm.
like maybe expertise in Python, Linux, and
Yes,
shell scripting.
right,
Then
right,
Git and Azure cloud.
right. You are right.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Uh-huh.
will be that will
Yeah.
be
Then.
that will be pretty good. Yeah, right, correct.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Then I think, yeah. Once I get a command over that, maybe then slowly we can go one by one, right? Yeah.
Right,
Terraform, Ansible,
right, right,
Docker.
correct.
Okay.
So, but
Yeah.
anyhow, I told you all those things, but maybe you can
Yes.
note it down. So once you go through this process, the procedure, the tools and technologies, you might have some end-to-end idea. Okay, so this is how the company they are doing it for this any one of the project delivery or maybe for this the application delivery kind of things. You have some idea, means get some idea. That is why I told you the tools and technology which you are currently using as part of this DevOps cycle.
Uh-huh. Yes, yes, yeah, perfect. That's good. Okay. Yes, so then I think you are about to tell the resource also, right?
Yeah, yeah.
For
Okay,
each part.
okay. For the learning resource, right? I think
Yeah.
might be you aware all those things when you browse those things with respect to specific topics. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
there are lot of learning tools or the platform which is available.
Yes.
I would suggest like the people who are going to based on their the comfortableness. Maybe some people are using for YouTube, some people are using for the browsing materials PDF, or some maybe for the browsing from the directly from the browser, or
Yeah.
maybe some people are going to buy some what do you say
Course.
subscription based course and they're learning it. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
I would suggest you just learn it from. I will suggest one of the platform, Udemy. Okay,
You did. Uh-huh.
Udemy.
Okay.
You just note it down. You go for one some of the means Thursday, Friday, Black Friday sale will be, maybe they will enable it. So each course maybe
Mm-hmm.
300 or 400 or 500 similar kind. So whatever the
Mm-hmm.
course you want to learn, you can purchase it, you can purchase from that, and from maybe you can learn it one by one. I think the Udemy course is good platform. It is
Uh-huh.
cheap and best. You can utilize it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 Sure, sir.
Yeah. So later you can refer for the means YouTube channels. There are a lot of YouTube channels for each and every platforms, and also from the
Mhm.
browser. I think might be you already aware. Maybe you can use that as well.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. I have seen many videos in YouTube also, which explains in a good way. Sure.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I will
That's
make
what.
use.
That's what I am just. I give that maybe I will not suggest to people to go this one or that one, because people are well
Mhm.
aware. Okay, what needs to do, and which platform they will be comfortable, let them learn the things. But in case if nobody aware nothing, maybe I would suggest for the Udemy, maybe they will first of all they will learn the syllabus, maybe based on the syllabus they will let it complete those trainings, then they will get some idea. Based on that they can search it from the YouTube or maybe from the browser, whatever they want. From there they can comparatively can able to study properly.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Sure. Thanks. Yeah.